Hi guys, Alberto here. In my previous video we talked about my favorite lens, Konica Hexanon 57 1.2, and then I said I was going to talk to you about this beauty, which is another of my very favorite lenses. It's a Konica as well, a Konica Hexanon 135 millimeters f 2.5. Well, this lens is equivalent, let's say, to 200, around a 200, a little bit more maybe, in full frame format. I use it with the same adapter, which is a K&F concept. I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah. Well, it is a vintage lens, of course, and a 200 millimeter lens equivalent f2.5. It is a fast lens. I only use it for long distance portraits, few landscapes, not that much, not that many. Basically, when I want to isolate the subjects in a great manner, this is a perfect lens. It isn't expensive at all. I think it's very underrated. The image quality, it's really good. It has a built-in hood, as you can see right here. It's made out of metal as well. And yeah, if you like manual vintage lenses, this telephoto, it's a really good choice. And the crystals, the elements are amazing. Let me show you real quick. I don't know if you can see that right there. Yeah, there's a lot of glass right there. Now, about the image quality renders combined with my system, with my Fujifilm system, I believe it helps me to emphasize on that vintage look that I love. And when I use my film simulation modes, it reminds me a lot of that film look, so as the 57 mil. Again, like if you are into street photography, this is a good way to be away from the people if you don't want to be like very intrusive right in front of them. I think it is a very good option. It's not, like having a pancake. It's not a small lens by any means, but it's not as huge as those full frame lenses, which are just extremely big and extremely expensive, and heavy. So this is a totally opposite thing. It's very handy, not expensive at all, and yeah, if you have the time to be manually working with it, I think it's a really good choice. You won't be disappointed at all. It's a bokeh monster, honestly. Here's some images that you can be referring to as for the bokeh and the quality it renders. Yeah, again, optics are very, very good. Not decent, but very good. And yeah, it is a very good choice. I mean, if you're looking for something like this, it's a really good option. Say for perhaps, yeah, for bird watching, architecture, or any kind of distant subject, this is great. Maybe some wildlife, although 200 is not that large, but it is fairly large. It's been with me, same as the 57, for more than 24, 25 years. And the build quality is just amazing. I mean, look at it. This lens is old. And I preserve it by always, cleaning it, putting it away. I use those tiny bags as the one I showed you in the previous video to avoid humidity. I mean, yeah, we could talk about it for hours, but in this case, just, I wanted to share this with you because I know that there's some of you that are looking for stuff like this. Now, about the focus ring, it's fairly wide and very comfortable. It's not soft nor hard. Minimum focus distance is 1.2 meters, which is 4 feet, and all the way to infinity. When you use it at the minimum focus distance and at 2.5, it really is a bokeh monster, as you will see in the images I'm sharing with you. And yeah, it is really worth it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. That's why I've kept it for so long. And you won't be disappointed. Of course, it isn't as easy as to focus as a shorter lens, because the longer the lens is, it's when you're holding it with the on camera like so, you'll realize that every little movement, you're gonna see it right through your viewfinder or the screen, because that's the way it is. So one tip about it is that I never shoot it below 500, because it's really hard to not get any motion blur because of the weight of the lens, and it's, unless you're using a tripod. But since I don't use any, I don't use a lot of low ISO. I most of the time use it at 1000 and above, but perhaps 500, but that's like the lowest. Otherwise, it kind of gets a bit shaky, and you risk like not very in focus images. So yeah, that's like the tip. Of course, when you're shooting against the sun or in very contrasty situations, you do tend to get chromatic aberration, but just it's like you gotta get used to it, get used to work with it, so you don't so that doesn't affect you. What else? As for any other systems, I don't know, in this case it's Fuji X, but I'm sure you can, if you have another brand or you work with another system, I'm sure you can find the adapter, because it's a bayonet lens, and I'm sure you can find an adapter for your camera. And yeah, it is very worthy, very, very worthy. You can get this beautiful piece of metal and glass. It's very sturdy. I mean, that's the beauty of these lenses. That's the beauty of vintage lenses. They're so well built, and there's very little things to fail inside of them, that they will last a long time. And another thing that I tend to do all the time, regardless of the lens, is prior to take them off from the camera, I always brush them around so I can remove any unwanted particle or dust and prevent it from entering the lens or the sensor. Okay, same as in the front, just a tiny slight brushing like so. And then it's ready to go away. So yeah, hope you find this beauty interesting. And if you get one, well, happy shooting. I'm sure you'll love it as much as I have for the past more than 2 decades. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.